Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when we all face moments of hardship. Moments when others, whether intentionally or out of ignorance, put us through hell. They test our limits, challenge our endurance, and push us to the very edge of our patience. But let me tell you something, in the midst of that hell, something powerful happens. You survive. You grow. And in the end, the ones who try to break you might just be the ones who find themselves caught in the consequences of their own actions. You see, adversity is not always our enemy. It's a force that, though painful and relentless, shapes us into who we are meant to be. The struggles we endure are not there to destroy us, but to strengthen us. Each obstacle, each setback is a stepping stone. The more they try to tear us down, the more we rise. The more they push us, the more we endure. And in that endurance, we discover our true power. Now let's talk about justice, not the justice of courts, but the justice of life itself. The kind of justice that doesn't need a gavel to know when the scales are unbalanced, when they try to put you down, when they attempt to humiliate you or break your spirit. Don't think for a second that they'll escape unscathed. Life has a way of balancing things out. What goes around always comes around. It may not happen in the way we expect or on the timeline we desire, but mark my words, those who wrong us often find that the universe has a way of giving them a taste of their own medicine. But let's not fool ourselves. We don't wait for that retribution to feel whole. Because in the process of enduring the hell they put us through, we experience something far more valuable than revenge. We experience growth. We experience transformation. The struggle teaches us lessons we could never learn in comfort. The pain strengthens our resolve, sharpens our minds, and builds an unshakable confidence. Through struggle, we become wiser, more empathetic, and more capable of achieving greatness. Our suffering today is the foundation of our strength tomorrow. Now, let me make this clear. The suffering of others isn't for us to relish. The real victory is not in seeing them suffer, but in how we continue to rise above. The real power lies in maintaining focus on our own path. Life has a way of righting the wrongs without us having to get our hands dirty. So when they try to break you, don't lose your focus. Keep your eyes on the future. Keep your heart full of purpose. The more they try to drag you down, the higher you will rise. Remember, the best revenge is not in seeing them suffer, but in proving that they couldn't break you. While they remain trapped in their mistakes, you move forward stronger, wiser, and untouchable. So take that hell they put you through and let it fuel your rise to greatness. And when their suffering finally catches up with them, stand tall and know you are not just a survivor, you are a warrior. There are moments in life when we are tested in ways we never expected. When the world or the people around us put us through the harshest of trials, it might feel like we're being pushed to our limits, as if everything we know is collapsing. But it's in those very moments when we're buried deep in adversity that we discover the most about ourselves. Endurance and resilience are forged in the furnace of hardship. When life pushes you down, when everything seems stacked against you, that's when you find out just how strong you really are. You might not see it in the moment. You might be too tired, too broken, too beaten down to believe it. But the truth is, there's something in the human spirit that refuses to stay down. Even in the darkest moments, there's a light within us that says, I won't quit, and that, my friends, is the spark of endurance. Resilience doesn't come from smooth sailing. It's built when the storm rages and you don't know how much more you can take. It's about putting one foot in front of the other, even when the road seems endless. Every challenge you face, every setback is an opportunity to push forward, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. The pain, the exhaustion, the heartache, they become the very things that build the foundation of your strength. The more they try to break you, the more you grow. And with every wave that crashes over you, you learn how to stand taller in the face of it. But endurance is not just about surviving. It's about thriving in the face of difficulty. It's easy to think that a moment of struggle will define us, that we are forever marked by the things that hurt us. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, it's the very struggles that shape us into who we are supposed to be. Endurance isn't just about making it through the pain. It's about growing stronger as you do. It's about discovering parts of yourself that you never knew existed. And with every victory over adversity, you gain not only strength, but wisdom that no one can take from you. It's through this process that we become unstoppable. When the world has thrown everything it can at you and you stand firm, unshaken by the storms, that's when you realize just how much power you hold. And the beauty is, it doesn't matter how many times life knocks you down. What matters is how many times you get back up. Because resilience isn't about avoiding the storm, it's about learning to dance in the rain. Endurance and resilience don't come overnight. They take time, they take effort, and they take a refusal to give in. But when you come out on the other side of the storm, you're not just a survivor, you're someone who has been refined, forged, and strengthened. And when that day comes, you'll realize that those trials weren't meant to defeat you. They were meant to build you, to prepare you for something greater. There is a deep, primal part of us that seeks justice when we've been wronged. We all have that inner voice that demands fairness, that wants to see those who have hurt us pay the price for their actions. It's natural to feel the urge for revenge, to want to see those who caused us pain suffer in the way we suffer. But while the desire for revenge is a powerful emotion, it's important to recognize that true justice doesn't always come in the form we expect. Often, the very act of seeking revenge can be a trap. It can consume us, cloud our judgment, and drag us down to the same level as the person who wronged us. In those moments, it can be easy to think that revenge will bring peace, that seeing them suffer will somehow heal the wound they inflicted on us. But revenge is a fleeting satisfaction. It may give us a moment of relief, but it doesn't bring true closure. In fact, it often leaves us feeling emptier than before because it doesn't address the root of the pain. We are left still carrying that burden, just with the added weight of our own actions. Justice, however, is something far more powerful. Justice doesn't require us to lower ourselves to the level of those who hurt us. It doesn't demand that we become the very thing we despise. True justice comes from something greater than us. It's the natural balance of the universe, the quiet truth that what goes around comes around. The people who wrong you may not face immediate consequences, but rest assured, life has a way of evening the scales. Time has a way of revealing the truth. And those who have wronged others will eventually find themselves caught in their own webs. There's a certain power in knowing that you don't have to be the one to make them pay. When you choose to rise above, when you choose to walk away with your head held high, you are letting the universe take care of the balance. You are trusting that karma will find its way. You are placing your faith not in petty revenge, but in the certainty that justice will be served in its own time, in its own way. The beauty of justice is that it is impartial and undeniable. It doesn't require your input. It doesn't need your bitterness or anger to fuel it. It simply happens. And when it does, you will find that the satisfaction doesn't come from seeing someone suffer. It comes from knowing that you didn't let their actions define you. You didn't let them pull you into a place of darkness. You stood strong, you rose above, and life took care of the rest. In the end, revenge and justice are not the same thing. Revenge is fleeting and often hollow. Justice, on the other hand, is the quiet assurance that everything will balance out, even if it takes time. And while the world may put you through hell, while they may try to break you, the best response is not to seek revenge, but to trust that justice will find its way and that those who wronged you will eventually face their own consequences. The real power lies in knowing you are above the need for vengeance and that your strength comes from walking away, not with bitterness, but with the quiet confidence that justice will prevail. Struggle is a universal experience, something that each of us encounters at some point in our lives. It's easy to think of struggle as something we should avoid, something that only brings pain and hardship. But if we look deeper, we can see that struggle is not just an obstacle, it is an opportunity for growth, for transformation, and for a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are capable of. When we face difficulties, we often feel overwhelmed and defeated, as if we are being tested in ways that are impossible to overcome. But what we don't always see in the midst of the storm is that struggle, in all its forms, has the power to shape us in ways we never imagined. It pushes us to confront parts of ourselves we may have been avoiding. It forces us to stretch beyond our comfort zones and grow beyond what we thought was possible. In those moments of hardship, when everything seems uncertain and difficult, we have the chance to evolve. Growth doesn't happen in times of ease. It happens when we are challenged, when we are pushed to our limits. It is in those moments that we discover the strength we didn't know we had, the resilience we never thought possible. Each struggle teaches us something valuable. Whether it's patience, perseverance, or a deeper understanding of ourselves, we learn lessons that can only be learned through adversity. Without those struggles, we would remain stagnant, never realizing our potential or the depth of our character. Think about the times in your life when you've overcome something difficult. Those are the moments that have defined who you are today. The challenges you faced, the pain you endured, it all contributed to the person you've become. It is through struggle that we become stronger, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Our capacity to handle life's challenges grows, and what once seemed impossible becomes something we can face with confidence. But personal growth through struggle isn't just about surviving, it's about transforming. It's about taking those painful moments and using them as the foundation upon which to build something better. Struggle doesn't just break us, it can make us. The things that try to tear us down can also be the things that shape us into more compassionate, understanding, and wise individuals. Through struggle, we develop a sense of empathy, a deeper appreciation for what others go through, and a greater sense of purpose. It's like the process of refining metal. Only through the heat of the fire does it become pure, strong, and capable of doing great things. And let's not forget that personal growth through struggle often leads to a higher sense of gratitude. It's easy to take life for granted when everything is going smoothly, but when we face challenges, we learn to appreciate the moments of peace, the moments of ease. We learn to value the strength we've gained and the lessons we've learned. In the end, we realize that struggle is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced, because it is in struggle that we find our true potential. It teaches us that we are capable of far more than we ever thought possible, and that in the end, it is through our struggles that we grow, evolve, and become the best versions of ourselves. Karma and retribution are concepts that carry a deep and powerful truth. The energy we put into the world will eventually come back to us. It's easy to dismiss these ideas as abstract or as something that only applies in distant spiritual realms. But the reality is that these principles operate in our lives every single day, often in ways that we cannot immediately understand. While we may sometimes feel as though injustice prevails or that those who harm us escape unscathed, there is a quiet force at work, ensuring that the scales are balanced over time. Karma, in its simplest form, is the belief that what we put into the world, whether good or bad, returns to us in kind. It's the idea that our actions, our words, and our intentions all contribute to the energy that shapes our lives. When someone wrongs you, it can feel like they've escaped punishment, and in that moment, it's easy to feel frustration or anger. But what's often overlooked is that the damage done by their actions will eventually manifest in their own lives. Life has a way of ensuring that the scales are tipped, and sometimes the consequences don't come immediately. Karma doesn't work on our timeline. It unfolds in its own time, in its own way. And while we may never see it happen, we can take comfort in knowing that balance will eventually prevail. Retribution, in this sense, is not something we should seek to enforce ourselves. The universe has a way of delivering consequences that are far more profound and fitting than anything we could concoct. When people harm others, whether intentionally or otherwise, there is a natural law at play that holds them accountable. It might not be the exact form of punishment we envision, but the ripple effects of their actions inevitably find their way back to them. Life has a way of ensuring that no wrongdoing goes unnoticed, even if it's hidden from our eyes. However, it's important to understand that karma and retribution aren't always about seeing someone else suffer. The true power in these principles lies in the realization that we don't have to be the one to bring justice to the situation. We don't have to carry the weight of revenge on our shoulders. When we allow karma to take its course, we free ourselves from the burden of bitterness and anger. We don't have to chase retribution or demand that someone suffer as they made us suffer. The true victory comes in knowing that the universe operates on its own terms, and that justice will be served in ways that we may not fully understand. What's more, Karma isn't always about punishment. It's also about growth and redemption. Just as bad actions have consequences, good actions are also returned to us. The kindness, the love, the good deeds we put into the world come back to us in ways that may be surprising but always profound. Even when the world seems cruel or unfair, we can take solace in knowing that by remaining true to our values, by choosing integrity over revenge, we are creating positive karma in our lives. In the end, karma isn't just about retribution, it's about the balance that keeps us all connected, ensuring that we reap what we sow in both pain and in joy. And so when life puts you through hell, when you feel as though someone has wronged you in ways that will never be made right, trust that karma is at work. You don't need to spend your energy plotting revenge or focusing on the wrongs done to you. Instead, invest that energy into living with integrity, into making positive choices, and into holding your own peace. The law of karma is a powerful force, and it will take care of the balance. The universe always finds a way to ensure that justice is served, whether we see it or not, and in ways that are often beyond our comprehension. All we have to do is stay true to ourselves and trust that retribution, in the end, will come for those who deserve it, just as peace and goodness will come to us when we least expect it. In a world that constantly bombards us with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We often get caught up in the noise, what others think, what others do, and what we're supposed to be according to societal standards. It's easy to allow the opinions of others or the challenges around us to pull us off course. But the true power lies in staying focused on your own path, regardless of the distractions or obstacles that come your way. When you allow yourself to be constantly influenced by the opinions and actions of others, you lose your sense of self. Your purpose, your dreams, your vision for your life becomes blurred by the expectations placed upon you. It's crucial to remember that your journey is unique. It doesn't matter what someone else is doing or how they're doing it, because your path is yours and yours alone. The key to fulfillment and success is not in comparing your progress to others, but in staying true to what you know in your heart is right for you. Staying focused on your own path doesn't mean that you will never face challenges. In fact, you will face many. Life has a way of testing you, of throwing roadblocks in your way that may seem insurmountable. But these obstacles are part of the journey. They are not there to discourage you, but to guide you to your true potential. When you remain focused on your path, you realize that every challenge is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. The key is to not be swayed by what others are doing or how others may seem to be succeeding. Their path is not yours, and comparing your journey to theirs only slows you down. There will always be distractions that try to steer you off course, be it external criticism, envy, or even the temptation of quick success that may not align with your values. These distractions can be loud and they can be tempting, but if you allow them to define your actions, you lose the very essence of your purpose. The most successful people in life are not those who followed the crowd, but those who stayed true to their vision and their values. They were not distracted by others' opinions or the external noise. They understood that the only way to reach their fullest potential was to keep their eyes on their own goals, even when the world around them was telling them to take a different route. Staying focused on your path also means understanding that you will not always see immediate results. We live in an age of instant gratification, where everything is expected to happen quickly, but the truth is that real progress takes time. Growth is often slow, and success is rarely an overnight phenomenon, but when you stay committed to your own journey, even when the results aren't immediate, you build the discipline, perseverance, and resilience necessary to achieve lasting success. Every small step you take, every decision you make that aligns with your true self, gets you closer to the person you are meant to become. Moreover, focusing on your own path allows you to be at peace with yourself. You don't have to measure your worth against anyone else. There's a profound sense of freedom that comes with knowing that you're not competing with others, but simply doing the best you can on your own terms. In this space, you begin to understand that your success doesn't diminish anyone else's, and likewise, their success does not take away from yours. The abundance of life is vast, and there's enough for everyone. When you focus on your journey, you give yourself the permission to move at your own pace, to grow in your own time, and to make choices that are true to your own heart. In conclusion, the journey of life is filled with challenges, distractions, and moments of doubt. But through it all, staying focused on your own path is the key to not just surviving, but thriving. It's in the struggles, the setbacks, and the times when the world tries to push you off course that you find your true strength. The importance of endurance, resilience, and justice lies in the fact that these experiences shape you into the person you are destined to become. As you navigate through life, always remember that your journey is unique, your path is your own, and it is the choices you make, guided by your values, your purpose, and your vision, that will lead you to the fulfillment and success you seek. So keep moving forward, trust in the process, and understand that in the end, it's not the obstacles that define you, but your ability to rise above them and stay true to who you are. The power to create your future lies in your focus, your resilience, and the unshakable belief that your path will take you exactly where you need to be.